video will walk you through how to use the Resume Builder tool in the Jobs portal. In the portal menu, navigate to the Resumes tab. This is where you can create and store resumes with the custom Resume Builder tool. Please note that if you already have a resume you'd like to upload, you can upload it in your profile under Files. However, pre-made resumes that are uploaded to Files cannot be edited using the Resume Builder tool. If you have already used the Resume Builder tool to create any resumes, you will see them here. You can view them, edit them, duplicate them, or delete them from this page. Clicking on Add New Resume will immediately open up a modal window prompting you to name your new resume. This name will only appear in your Resumes tab and is meant to help you sort your files. It will not appear on your actual resume. As you build your resume, more modal windows may pop up to guide you. Once you name your resume, you'll be brought into the Resume Builder tool. By default, you will see the Personal Details screen, where you can fill out details about yourself and give your resume a headline. Not sure what something means? Look for this information circle. Hovering over it or clicking it on mobile will give you an explanation. Here, and throughout the tool, fields with red asterisks are required to finish your resume. You won't be able to save your work until you fill those fields. To save your progress and move on to the next section, you can click Save and Continue at the bottom of the screen. This will take you to the next section of the Resume Builder tool. If you need more room to see what you're typing, some text boxes will allow you to drag the bottom corner to give you more space. You can see all the sections and the order in which they will appear on your finished resume on the left side of the screen. Personal Details and Summary will be at the top. Below those, by default, you'll find Experience, Skills, and Education. You can rearrange the order of these by clicking on the 6 dots, called a drag handle, and dragging them up or down. You can add more sections by clicking Add Section and choosing from several options, including awards, volunteer experience, languages, and references, along with a custom section which will give you a text box to add anything else you may want to include. You can rename sections by selecting that tab and clicking Edit Heading. You can delete or duplicate a section by clicking More Options. Once you've filled out a section and saved the information you've provided, a green check mark will appear on the corresponding tab. To jump to a specific section or go back to re-edit one you've completed, simply click on that tab. At any point, you can preview how your resume will appear, but we'll save this for the end of the video because our resume will change quite a bit by the time we fill out all our information and choose a template. Pro tip: if you choose to add a references section, you can choose to either include the contact information on your resume or simply add a note which states references are available upon request. The Experience section is where you can add your previous work history. Clicking on Add Position will give you the ability to input information about your previous job, including the job title, the company you worked for, the address, and the time period in which you held this position, using the start and end date fields. Checking the "This is my current position" box will remove the end date. Clicking Save and Continue will allow you to write a description of your responsibilities. If our system recognizes the job title you input, a modal window will prompt you to choose whether or not you'd like to add the job duties that are associated with that occupation's corresponding National Occupation Classification Code, or NOC code. Clicking Yes may help you to save time by automatically filling in this section for you. Be sure to read it carefully to ensure it correctly describes your responsibilities in that position. You can always edit the content here and manually type in or copy-paste the appropriate information. Hitting the Enter key on your keyboard will add a new bullet point. Clicking Save and Continue will now bring you back to the Experience page, where you can continue to add more positions to build out your work history, or you can edit, delete, and rearrange those that have been created already. The Education section works similarly to the Experience section, except you can add your education history by inputting information about the schools you attended, the type of degree, diploma, or certificate you earned there, and in which field. Again, you can input the address and the time period during which you studied there. This time, clicking Save and Continue will allow you to include a list of courses you took while studying in this program. Type in the name of the course or the course code and click Enter to add the next one. If you want to remove one, you can click the X or clear all by hitting the X in the corner. Clicking Save and Continue again will take you back to the Education page, where you can continue to add more schools to build out your education history, or you can edit, delete, and rearrange those that have been created already. If you have already built out your list of skills in your Jobs portal under the My Skills tab, then the first time you open the Skills section of the Resume Builder tool, a modal window will pop up, prompting you to choose if you want to add skills from your skills list. If you click Yes, you will see a list of all the skills associated with your account, and you can select which ones you'd like to automatically add to your resume. Whether or not you choose to preload your skills in this way, you can always manually add skills by typing the skills you're looking for and clicking on it from the drop-down. Remember, we have over 20,000 skills in our database, including knowledge, general skills, and tools and technology. Things you know, things you can do, and things you can use. You can change the order in which they will appear on your resume by clicking and dragging the drag handle and rearranging them. To remove a skill from your resume, you can click Remove. This will not remove it from your skills list in your profile. Once you have filled out all the sections you'd like to include in your resume, you can click Templates at the bottom of the left side of the screen, or Save and Continue if you are on the last section screen. Here, you can choose how you'd like your resume to look. Remember that the order in which sections will appear depends on how they are ordered on the left side menu of the tool. If you don't want something in your resume, don't fill in the box. Ignore it, and it will not be included in your resume. The templates will only affect the style of the resume, including fonts, margins, and how the sections are separated. Click Use this template to select a style. The selected template will be outlined in blue. Once you've selected a template, click Save and Continue to get to the Settings page. Now, you can make additional choices about how your resume should appear. You can choose where you'd like the page numbers to appear, at the top and/or bottom of the page, as well as which sections you'd like to appear on the final resume, and whether or not you'd like those sections to start at the top of a new page. You can also choose how small or large you'd like the words to appear, how small or large you'd like the spacing between words to be, and how you'd like the icons next to your contact information to appear. For example, this template shows a phone icon next to my phone number. I can choose if I want this to appear as an outline or as a solid icon. You can click Save and Continue or Preview to see what your resume looks like. If you don't like how something appears, you can go back and edit any of the sections, change templates, or adjust the settings until you're happy with the results. Pro tip: if you have a long section which you want to be split between 2 pages, you may want to duplicate the section and include some of the information in one section and the rest in the duplicate. Then use the settings to add a page break in between. You may also want to try choosing a template first, then using the preview to see how it looks as you build your resume. Once you're finished, go back to the resume preview to download and/or print. As long as you've saved, You can go back to My Resumes, which will take you out of the Resume Builder tool to the Resumes page of your job portal, where your new resume will be saved. You can edit it again at any time to make changes. Want to make another, similar resume without starting from scratch? Duplicate it and edit that one. If you are using the Jobs portal as part of your work with an employment service provider, and you have a caseworker, they can see and download your resumes from this page too. They can even create a new one for you, which will also appear on this page. However, your caseworker cannot edit a resume that you have created yourself. If they would like to change something in your resume, they may choose to duplicate it and edit that one. With the Resume Builder tool, you can quickly create polished resumes tailored to your goals, and keep them saved, updated, and ready to share whenever opportunity comes your way.